Welcome again to the IDTNG sessions. Now, thank you for being here. I always say this, you're here because you're interested with your children or with some of those young people or teenagers that you are mentoring. The biggest need of the hour is intentionally discipling the next generation. You would hear me say this again and again and again and again and again and again. What we're going to deal with today is something going to be very interesting. In all my discipleship journeys with children, with teenagers, I've begun to see this. I've seen sometimes parents get back to me and complain and say, my teenager is not responding properly. You told me to connect. He's not even connecting. She's not even connecting. She's not even talking. He's not even talking. I tried so many different things, but I don't know what it is. The next 6, 7, 8 episodes, I'm going to give you some of the reasons. The first thing that we will deal with, what could be one of the reasons of why your child or your teenager is not connecting, especially teenagers and young people, that they are not connecting with you, or they're kind of rejecting you, they're kind of pushing you away, they're kind of just walking away. What it is, it could be different reasons of it. Maybe there is something that has happened, maybe because of the environment, because of the situation, because of the family situation. Now, one of the first things that we may have to look into is the primal wounds of the heart. You may have to dig into the primal wounds of the heart. What's a primal wound of the heart? It could come about because of betrayal. It could come about because of abuse. It could come about because of certain things that has hurt them. And mainly I've seen in many families, I've seen in with many parents, they would say, there's no abuse that has happened. There's nothing that has happened. Great. But sometimes what I've seen is there is a lot of neglect that has happened. And when a neglect happens, there is a primal wound of the heart. And the primal wound of the heart, it hurts. So over a period of time, they've been going through certain situations, or certain place of rejection, certain place of, somebody neglecting them, or maybe not giving greatest of the importance to these children. Then it becomes kind of little difficult. So to deal with the primal wounds of the heart is very important, because if we don't deal with the primal wounds of the heart, it will help the teenager or the young person to have two very unhealthy places. What are those two very unhealthy places? One is an unhealthy insecurity trap. Two is an unhealthy performance trap. You begin to see that? I'm saying unhealthy insecurity because sometimes insecurities, can be actually good, that you will actually perform well or you will do things well. I'm also saying unhealthy performance trap. There's a healthy performance that needs to be done. So these are two traps where some of these young people some of the teenagers can go in because of some of the primal wounds of the heart. So we have to dig in and deal with it. That's exactly what we are going to talk about in the next episode. So remember, the primal wounds of the heart could be a place where a teenager or a young person says, I'm hurt. I've been neglected. I've been rejected. You don't care for me. You don't love me. Even after all that we do, sometimes they would say that. We may have to dig in to find out what that root issue is. We may have to dig in to find out what that reason is. Remember, there are two things it can give about, two things that it can provoke the teenagers into that lane of unhealthy insecurity trap and unhealthy performance trap. We will talk about this more. Thank you so much for joining with us today.